So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our conjunction video of the week. And this week we're going to be covering the conjunction of Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Ketu. And what happens when Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Ketu are conjunct in your particular horoscope. And as always, if you do not know if you have this conjunction, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, all the other astrological details, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects, and Mahadasas of the Speed of Light, including all my consultations at this link. And also link to my Academy, Maga Vedic Astrology Academy, where I'm actually discussing Ashtak Varga. Although you can watch all the previous lessons anytime in your life. So, when you have this conjunction, one of the biggest things to take away from this is that one will definitely have early in life a very difficult period with marriage. It's like marriage becomes this heavy burden, this heaviness upon you. And it may not even just be something dramatic, like your spouse wants to spend all your money, or let's say, your spouse is abusive. No, it could just be normal family responsibility that just kind of like bogs you down. But definitely early marriage, I never recommend people to get married with this particular conjunction early on until they're like in their early 30s or mid 30s, because you're much more mature at that time. And especially the negative effect of all these conjunctions kind of calms down, by your mid 30s. And definitely a person will have a heartbreak in a relationship. And usually a man will always get a mature spouse. But having Ketu in this conjunction versus Rahu, like the last time, there is some dissatisfaction with the sexual interaction with the person. The chemicals that takes these invisible chemicals, these pheromones, actually they're visible, but they're just like so tiny, we can't see them. But these pheromones that, we give off to each other, that helps us to get that sexual energy going, Ketu kind of takes that away. Ketu kind of becomes this detergent, this chemical that kind of like neutralizes all the other pheromones. And what happens is, in a sexual companionship, a person feels this dissatisfaction. Even the other person may be good at it, they just don't feel that this person is good at it. And this, again, usually only in their late 30s will they find that satisfaction. And the thing is, especially if this conjunction occurs in a strong, fiery signs, especially like Aries, it can overpower, like a person can overpower, especially a masculine energy can overpower a feminine energy in terms of them finding their satisfaction. Even if a woman has this, they may like overpower a masculine, another like male person, to fulfill their sexual desires. So it can kind of like, it's like that overlap. It's like, when you eat too much and you kind of like throw up, that's what happens whenever you have 4 or 5 planetary conjunction. It's like there's too much happening. And whenever there's too much happening, there's a lot of confusion that occurs. It's like whenever you have too much of something, it'll always damage you. You have too much of food. We need food to survive. We need water to survive. You have too much of that in a one go, it can almost kill you. So this is why when you have these 5 strong packed energy, it almost confuses a person. It becomes too much of everything, too much of romantic emotion, too much of anger emotions, too much of maturity into the relationship, too much of wisdom in a relationship, too much of sexual dissatisfaction in a relationship. It's just too much. And so that becomes a main catalyst in this conjunction, because obviously Jupiter represents the husband in a female's chart, and then Venus represents the wife in a man's chart, and Venus is the natural significator of marriage. And at the same time, education-wise, this person will be much more inclined towards education in biology, environmental science, even sociology becomes quite an interest for this person. And obviously interests will vary of education depending upon the technical or non-technical aspect of the sign. The one thing we will also see that usually a male can either overproduce sperm or may have lack of sperm. It's never like that middle ground. It's always either high or low, you know. Um, and that will also depend upon then Venus's condition. Depending upon the house and sign. Is Venus strong? If Venus is strong, then it may just overproduce sperm. If it's not in the best of position, it may decrease this sperm. And one thing we will also see with this conjunction is that a person will have a hard time finding a decent, understandable guru. You may be disappointed in gurus. You may be disappointed in teachers and counselors and astrologers. Like if this person with this type of a conjunction takes a consultation, like an astrological consultation, they'll find dissatisfaction even though that consultation may not be so dissatisfactory. Because this is a heavy conjunction. You must be wondering, okay, then why in the world do I have this conjunction? Well, ask your soul that. What is it that you did in your previous lives for you to have this conjunction? There's always a reason behind a certain position. There's always a reaction to a certain action. So this conjunction is the reaction to certain actions you could have taken in your past. Nobody's like being hated by God. Nobody's being loving by God. It's an independent game that you play of reincarnation. Okay. So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of this conjunction. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know where your planets are placed, my books, your reports, consultations, check out the links here and check out my academy. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.